you are about to listen to is me, Pastor Michael Bowman, as I think out loud about and try to apply the scripture to anything and everything that comes to mind. This usually happens in my car, so jump in and let's talk. I just finished reading through C.S. Lewis's The Abolition of Man for, the second or third time probably. And something in the book just got me thinking. I don't remember if this was something that C.S. Lewis said. I don't remember if it's something that he was just discussing. I don't even remember if he said nothing about this, and it was just my thought kind of springing out of reading this book. But I thought about the often quoted idea that an ought can't come from an is, or an imperative cannot come from an indicative. Sometimes this is used in Christian apologetics when you have people who are claiming complete materialism. It's easy to point out that there's a problem there, because just things being the way that they are, the is of material, does not necessitate any particular moral order or any particular moral law. If all there is material, and that's it, there's nothing higher, nothing greater, well then there's there is no basis for some kind of moral law or objective morality. You can't say this or that is wrong because there is just nothing more than just this physical experience. Everything is cause and effect, chemicals doing what they do. There's no meaning to it. And so there cannot be a moral order to the world if there is nothing more than material. And so this phrase I've seen pop up here and there is that you cannot derive an ought from an is, or you cannot have an imperative that flows from an indicative. But I was thinking the other day while reading The Abolition of Man, and again, I can't remember if this was in the book somewhere or if it was just my own thought life interacting with the book. Those two things often kind of mold together in my memory. But I was thinking that there is a sense in which an is comes with an ought. And that is the Lord himself. When the Lord revealed himself, when Moses came and saw the burning bush and the Lord speaks to him, he reveals his name to Moses, and his name is I am, or I will be who I will be, Yahweh. He is. Jesus says, before Abraham was, I am. Not I was, but I am. God is. This is sometimes lost on people, especially when discussing anything that our humanity limits us to. So when we're talking about time, when we're talking about the future, when we're talking about God and his work of salvation, and how could it be that, he chose to save us? Doesn't that mean that we're just robots of some kind, or we don't have real freedom of choice? All of these questions usually assume something about God that isn't true, and it's limiting him as if he were just like us. But God is. Sometimes we speak of God and his foreknowledge as if he looks down the corridors of time and sees what's going to happen and then does something in reaction to that. But that is not how God works. He is outside of time. He is. This is why it can be said that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But he's not the God of the dead, but the living. God is at all times. He is the fundamental being. The fundamental is. The fundamental indicative, you could say. And actually, out of that fact, out of that reality, there is an imperative. There is an ought that comes from that is. If God is, then all things belong to him, come from him, are for him. You could say they're for him and through him and to him. All things exist on the basis of his existence. All things are predicated upon his existence. And what that means is that conformity to him and his will is necessary. It is primary. It is fundamental to being his creation. I don't know if I've just been ranting about nothing or if I have begun to approach the realm of heretical ideas, but I just can't help but think about the being of God and the necessity then of conformity to him as a creature. This is kind of a fundamental ought that comes from his very being. Hey guys, I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has been, go ahead and rate it, review it, or share it with a friend, especially if you're in La Crosse, Wisconsin, or the surrounding areas. That helps me expand the audience and hopefully increase the impact of these ideas. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns on anything that I just talked about, you can reach me at pastormichaeljbowman@gmail.com. You can find more content from me, as well as information about the church that I pastor at ccc-pca.org. With that, I hope you can enjoy the many blessings of God today. Until next time.